Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to share with you guys the polishes that I pulled from my collection to dupe the OPI Scotland collection. I will be doing the one on China Glaze, I think it's a Gone West collection, as well as their Halloween collection. I feel like I have a little fuzzy on my face. A video or two ago now, I mentioned to you guys that I was not going to be purchasing polishes from the collections that came out this fall, and instead I have chosen this year to shop my stash and try to dupe the polishes. With that being said, this is not a dupe video. I tried to pull polishes that remotely, somewhat resembled the polishes as close as I could get it based on the information that I could get online. So I did go onto OPI's website. I also went on to Ulta's website, and when I swatched these polishes, it's been now a week and a half to two weeks now. At that time there was only, I think, 2 people's swatches on Google Images, and maybe some polishes had a third one available, and that was a little bit tricky because some people use special lighting, and so it changes up the color quite a bit, so that person's swatch didn't even look close to somebody else's swatch. So I tried to find a happy medium and pull what I thought looked pretty close. Some undertones are not the same. Some of the polishes that I picked don't have the exact same little shimmer, and so on and so forth. So this is just my selection based on my collection and what I have available. So we're doing the OPI Scotland collection today, and I'm going to start off with a little gilt under the kilt, which is their shimmering red. I have all of the tabs open here, and I have OPI's website as well as Ulta's website open here. So a little gilt under the kilt is the shimmering red, and they're labeling it as an amazing red, which is not very helpful at all. And the only shimmer red that I currently own is the one from OPI. This is called I'm Not Really a Waitress, and I don't have any other shimmer red, so this is the only option that I had available. This is one that I normally tend to pull out, but mainly during the winter months, not so much during the fall months, but it is a really great option. This one has an awesome formula, so if you have this one, pull it out. I think it gives the same kind of vibe situation going on. So 2 coats for this one, and you guys will see pictures of the swatches of these polishes, and I'll have a picture from the OPI website up on the screen for you guys to see. I didn't pull people's pictures because I don't want to use other people's pictures. Just because it's their picture. So anyways, all right, the next polish that I have here is called Thistle-ing at Me, and this is their purple one is what they're labeling it, and this one is a purple with a silver shimmer, it looks like. And I used to have one from Avon ages ago, but I never wore it, so I gave it away. So when I looked at this one, I was like, that reminds me so much of that polish. But it goes to show what polishes I tend to gravitate towards, because every single shimmering purple that I had a pink shimmer or a gold shimmer running through it. Nothing with a silver kind of shimmer. And the ones that I've owned, I've gotten rid of. So I pulled out Urban Decay's Vice, and this one is kind of the same kind of purple situation, but it doesn't have that silver shimmer. This one has more of that pinky kind of shimmer going on. It's still really beautiful, and it still gives me the same vibe, so this is going to be my pick. And this one has a really good formula, 1 to 2 coats depending on length of your nails. I think when my nails have been longer, this one maybe 2 coats, but my nails are shorter again, and so this one would take just 1 coat. Clash of the Tartens is their matte metallic fuchsia. And what I did with the polishes that didn't naturally dry matte, I pulled out my matte top coat from Essie, or any matte top coat that you have available, because you can mattify any polish really. So I don't normally tend to buy a lot of matte polishes because I can always change it up with a matte top coat, and do that with every polish that I have. Basically, I have 2 options here. One's a little bit lighter and brighter, not quite, it looks like not quite as deep. So I have Rose My Name from China Glaze. This is the one that's a little bit lighter and brighter. Oh, and I love this. I love this so much with a matte top coat. I've used this in the past, and I've put a glossy top coat over it. I've never mattified it, so I loved it. When I put a matte top coat, I almost like the finish or the look of that better than with the glossy top coat. I am going to show you guys though a picture with a glossy top coat and one with a matte top coat, so you guys can take a look at it. And I also have Fuchsia Flame from CoverGirl. I'm pretty sure they don't make this line anymore. I think this line was discontinued. This one is a fuchsia, kind of metallic-y kind of polish, but this one has a very fine purple shimmer running through it. Very different from this one. This one has a little bit of a silver shimmer running through it, but both gave me the same vibes, and I will have close-up bottle shots. But if you guys can see from afar, Fuchsia Flame is a little bit deeper than Rose My Name. Edinburgh-er and Tatties is the warm beige. This is a cream, and online this looks like it's more of a peachy nude with a tiny hint of brown in it. I pulled out Barefoot in Barcelona. This is the one that to me looked the closest, and I also actually had pulled out Inside the Isabel Way, and I did swatch it, so I'll pop up the picture here, but I took it out of this stash because that one pulled a lot more brown. So I don't know, I feel like it pulled a lot more brown than what I'm seeing online. Online it looks more like a peachy kind of nude. So this is the one that I stuck to, and this one has a really good formula. It's from OPI. A couple coats, 2 to 3 coats for full opacity. Last minute though, I did pull this one out. This is the one that I don't have a swatch for because I literally pulled it last night, but this may be an option, I don't know. This is Ballerina Slippers, and I pulled this one because I saw, I think it's a picture from OPI on someone with a much deeper skin tone, and it looked so much lighter than some of the swatches on some people that I saw on Google Images. So I went ahead and pulled this one because it could be an option. Completely different, by the way, but they both do lean a little bit more peach. I would say Barefoot in Barcelona leans more pink, and this one definitely a little bit more on the peachy side, but you know, both are a good option, I think. Good Girls Gone Plaid is labeled as an alluring amethyst, and this one looks like it's a cream. It looks like it's one of those eggplant purples, kind of like Linkin Park After Dark, that has, you know, a little bit more red in it. So the 2 that I pulled out, actually I pulled out 3, because in some pictures it looks more purple, and then in some pictures it looks like it has a little bit more red, so it gives me that Wicked from Essie vibe, or OPI's Linkin Park After Dark vibe. But anyways, I pulled out Wicked from Essie, a couple coats for full opacity for this one, and I pulled out Linkin Park After Dark. My bottle is dying. I actually had to pour in quite a bit of thinner to thin it out so I can apply it for the swatch. So these 2 are a really great option, but I did pull out this one as well. This is from P2, and this definitely leans more like it leans like an eggplant purple, but like more of that purpley tone more than anything. So this one is called Diva Expressive from P2. And I'll do a close-up of this because this is very, very different from Linkin Park After Dark, because you can distinctly see that this is purple, although on the darker side. Nailed It by a Royal Mile is the next one. This one is labeled as a matte metallic purple. I have 3 options here, and neither of them are purple because I didn't have anything like this. To me, this is more of a royal purple, and it does have quite a bit of blue in it, but it's still distinctly purple. Some pictures it looks more blue, some pictures it looks more purple. So I pulled out the 3 that I thought looked the closest. Again, none of these are purples, but they're the ones that I could find that were somewhat close. So I pulled these 3 out. Although blue, all of these on the sides of the bottles, I see a little bit of purple, or a little bit of purple in them, which is the reason why I pulled them. I have Azure from Jessie's Girl. This is part of their satin finish collection, so it does dry to a satin finish, but not fully matte. So I went ahead, I don't know if I put a glossy top coat on this one. If I did, I'll pop up the picture, but I did go ahead and put a matte top coat, and I love the way that it looked. This one looked really, really beautiful. Sinful Colors Liquid Iris is another one that I pulled, again, because although blue, you can see the center of the bottle here, it gives a little bit of that purple flash situation, and this looked amazing. I love this with a glossy top coat, but matte, with a matte top coat over it. I thought it looked really, really beautiful. Couple coats for this one, really good formula. I also pulled out Chopsticks and Stones from OPI. Yes, very, very blue, but also has the purple flash on the sides of the bottle. And I have to say, this was my favorite out of them all. Although it doesn't resemble the exact same color, it's giving me the same vibe, because this retained the intensity of the color, and with a matte top coat over it, oh my god, that was so beautiful. This one came out this spring actually, and I have already worn this, and I put a glossy top coat over it, and I thought it looked really beautiful. It brought out the sparkles quite a bit more, but with a matte top coat it looked super velvety. I mean, it was amazing. So I will be wearing this probably maybe in the fall, but most definitely during the winter, and I'm gonna mattify this one because I thought it looked super good. I really liked it. OPI grabs the unicorn by the horn. This is more of a soft blue is what they're labeling it as, but online I'm seeing a little bit of green in this, and the only softer blue that I have that has that dustiness to it is from China Glaze, and that's this one, which came out last fall. And funny enough, out of the ones that I purchased from that collection, I think I only purchased a couple of the polishes from that collection. This was my least favorite. The other one that I got was the mustard yellow. This is called Sample Sizing Me Up. It's not exactly the same, and this looks a little bit lighter than the picture that I'm seeing, or based on the pictures that I'm seeing online. And again, the pictures that I'm seeing online, I feel like I see a little bit more green, but it has the same kind of vibe, and this is close enough. And quite frankly, this is the only one that I have. This is I keep this around, though it wasn't my favorite from the ones that I purchased from that collection. I keep this around because I find this to be unique for my collection, because I don't have anything else like this one. This one has a really good formula also, and this one gets a pick at 2 coats. Redheads Ahead is labeled as an auburn red, and I am seeing this more as a very warm leaning red. And out of all of the reds that I have that are warm leaning without leaning to orange, I pulled out, let's see, I pulled out these two. So I have Chanel's Gitani, which is a red. It's a warm leaning red for sure. And this one, 2 to 3 coats. The first time that I put this guy on my nails, it took 3 coats. This time around, it took 2 coats. And I have the Thrill of Brazil. And next to the Thrill of Brazil, Gitani looks even a little bit more orange, but separately, they're both warm leaning reds without being orange, like an orangey kind of red. Kind of a situation. Both have a really good formula. This one takes, I think, a couple coats for full opacity. Rub-a-Pub-Pub is the coal gray that they have in the collection. It looks like it's a very dark charcoaly kind of gray, but it also looks, in some pictures, it looks like it has a little bit of green in it, like there's some warmth to it. So I pulled out the only 2 dark grays that I have, one of which is a mini, and this one is Live in the Gray. A couple coats for this one, 2 to 3 coats I would have to say for full opacity. You're gonna see it in a manicure that I wore recently because this is in my project polish. But this one came out, I want to say, in the Washington DC collection a couple years ago now. And I never bought the full size because this is beautiful, but it's not something that I really reach for all that often. But I also pulled out Susie Skis in the Pyrenees, and this one has a very fine shimmer that I don't really see on the nails, and the formulation of this is a little bit more on the jelly side, and this one has a little bit more blue in it than it does, I feel, green. But Live in the Gray is a lot lighter than Susie Skis and the Pyrenees, but they're both dark grays, and quite frankly, these are the only 2 dark grays that I had in my collection to pull from. Susie needs a Locksmith, Loch. This one is labeled as a Copper Kissed Orange, and the only pumpkin-y orange that I have that doesn't have that much brown in it is also from OPI. This one looks very pumpkin-y to me, so a very fall-esque color. And the only one that I have that resembles that color is It's a Piazza Cake. And funny enough, this is one that I've been debating on getting rid of because I have Plain Koi from Essie, and I love Plain Koi from Essie because it's a little bit deeper, it has a little bit more brown in it, to where this one doesn't. It does have brown in it, but I feel like I just gravitate towards that one more. I did not pull that one though, because to me that doesn't come remotely close, but if you want a pumpkin-y kind of orange, you know, Plain Koi from Essie I think is a really great option. But this is the one that to me looked looks the closest to the pictures that I saw online, and when I swatched it I thought it looked really beautiful. So I don't know, but sometimes I keep polishes around for a little while because I tend to change my mind and my taste change, which is why I tend to hold on to some polishes. I do get rid of a lot, but I also hold on to some polishes that just in case, you know, I'm gonna change my mind on, and this is one that I thought looked really beautiful. So it's a Piazza cake from OPI, a couple coats for this one. Really awesome formula. Things I've seen in Auber green is labeled as an edgy green, but I also put down that it's a more of a grayed out green olive, kind of olive green leaning kind of polishes. So I have two options here, one of which leans more gray, like a grayish green, but it has a little shimmer to it, and the other one leans more like a deep, very deep evergreen. So I have from Sally Hansen, and this is part of the Color Therapy line. Let me pull up the pictures here, because some pictures they look very olivey, almost like the olive green that came out in the Washington DC collection. So like this one right here, which is Susie, the First Lady of Nails. I didn't pull this one out because majority of the pictures that I saw online looked a lot deeper and like it has a lot more gray in it. So I didn't pull this guy, but this is an option if you have it. It's an option. I didn't swatch it though because I didn't think it came remotely close to majority of the pictures. So I did pull out this guy. This is called Haute Stone from Sally Hansen, and this one has a very fine red shimmer that's slightly noticeable on the nails, but I pulled it because of the color, because this is the one that to me looks like a grayed out green. Anyways, I thought it was really pretty. And I also pulled out Here Today, Aragon Tomorrow, completely different from this one, by the way. You can see the depth. This is very dark, but it's still distinctly green. It's just more evergreen to me than olive. This is an option as well, and I want to say this one 2, maybe 3 coats for full opacity is what it took me, because it has a little bit more of a jelly-ish kind of formulation. Nessie Plays Hide and Seek is what they're labeling as a Monster Blue. This one seems to have a blue jelly base and some teal shimmers, and I thought that I was going to find quite a bit of options in my collection. I didn't. I only found one. I have no. I did pull out, initially, I pulled out Essie's Bell Bottom Blues because it has that blue base with a very fine teal shimmer, but the shimmer in that one is super fine. So from what I'm seeing online, the little particles are visible. They're a little bit larger, it looks like. So I pulled out the only one that I could find in my collection that somewhat resembled it, and this is Orly's Royal Navy. Now the base of this is a little bit lighter from what I'm seeing, but it's giving me that same vibe because this one also has that teal little particles going on in it, and they are noticeable against the base of this. The base of it is a little bit more jelly-like when you're applying it, but it does dull down quite a bit, so you do require a glossy top coat for this one. But this is so beautiful. Opaque 2 coats. I usually add a good glossy top coat, and I think this is beautiful. If you have long nails, I think you may require an additional coat for this one. Nice set of pipes is their grayed out purple. This is one that I could not come remotely close to it. This is very unique. I really like this one. This is really beautiful, and I find this unique to me because I have nothing like it. But I pulled out 3 options that have that dusty quality to them, but mine are not grayed out like this one, and I feel like this one has quite a bit of blue in it. So these are the options that I pulled out, 2 of which are a little bit more dusty than the other. These, and I mean, you're gonna look at me and be like, this doesn't even look remotely close, but this is the closest that I could get to the picture that I'm seeing online. I have the deepest one here, the one that doesn't lean as dusty as the other ones do. This is Do You Have This Color in Stockholm, which usually I tend to pull this during the fall months anyways, and I believe this was one that it was in my top picks last fall. And this has a really awesome formula, a couple coats for full opacity. If you have longer nails, I think this would require a 3rd coat. And I have Plum Sugar from Orly. These are so tricky because I had nothing resembling their polish, but you know, I'm getting the same kind of vibe. This is Plum Sugar, a couple coats for this one. Really awesome formula. And I have Amethyst. Amethyst is so beautiful. I have not worn this in a really long time, and when I swatched it, my jaw dropped a little bit because this color is so beautiful. It does look darker on the nails than what you're seeing here. Here I feel like it looks quite a bit lighter, but it does deepen up a little bit on the nails, and I think it's really beautiful. So these are the three options that I have for nice set of pipes, and all of these are creams, by the way. And lastly, I have You've Got That Glass Glow, which is the other nude that they have in the collection. Only that, based on the pictures, this one looks like it leans more pinky purple for sure. Like, it has a little bit of purple in it. So I pulled out a couple of options. Where did I put them? They're right here. Wild Nude from Essie. This looks on camera and the viewfinder, it looks more nude, like a brownish kind of nude, but in person it has a little bit of purple in it. So this one, 2-3 coats for full opacity. This is from Essie. And the other one that I pulled, that it's a little bit off because I feel like this is definitely, it has a lot more purple and a little bit more gray than from the pictures that I'm seeing online, but it is an option. This is Topeless Beach from OPI, and you can see paired together how much more gray this one has in it. But I think that, you know, it's a nude. Pick whatever nude you like, basically, because everybody has a different taste. Me having these two right here, I think satisfies my needs, because one leans a little bit warmer and one leans a little bit cooler. That just depends on your personal preference, basically. So that is everything for my picks and what I was able to find in my collection to try to dupe the OPI collection from the Scotland collection for this fall. Let me just share with you guys my picks though. What I think are really unique from their collection itself. I really like, or not just unique, but what I would have purchased myself. I really like Nice Set of Pipes because I don't have any purple like this one, and I love purples. And this is a very beautiful purple. This is super unique for me personally. I also really like Nessie Plays Hide and Seek, and that's because I love the blues with the teal shimmer. That little teal shimmer gets me every single time. And the last one that I really like is Nailed It by a Royal Mile. Yes, another purple, because I love purples once again. But this one has a little bit more blue in it, and it's unlike any other purple, once again, any other purple that I have in my collection. So those three, I think, would be my personal picks. Would I go out and purchase these polishes at this time? So that is everything for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video super helpful. This was helpful to me personally, and it helped me understand or realize what kind of polishes I tend to gravitate more towards, because when I was pulling the purple ones with that silver shimmer, the one that this was my selection to replace that one, I realized that I tend to buy a lot of shimmering purples with the pink shimmer or the gold shimmer, but not so much a silver kind of shimmer situation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.